The movie begins with Reed Richards, a genius scientist also known as Mr. Fantastic, and his wife Susan Storm, the Invisible Woman. One day, the couple receives incredible news: Sue is pregnant. After years of trying and facing heartbreak, they had almost given up hope of having a child. Now this news brings them overwhelming happiness and a fresh start in their extraordinary lives. Despite the joy, Reed starts to worry. As a man who always thinks ahead, he wonders, what if their baby inherits the powers that transform them into superheroes? To understand Reed's concern, we need to go back 4 years. At that time, Reed, Sue, her younger brother Johnny Storm, and Reed's close friend Ben Grimm went on a space mission. During the trip, their ship passed through a strange cosmic storm. The radiation changed them forever, giving each person unique powers. Ben's body became rock-like, giving him immense strength. He became known as the Thing. Johnny could now burst into flames and fly, calling himself the Human Torch. Reed gained the ability to stretch and reshape his body like rubber, which earned him the name Mr. Fantastic. Sue developed the ability to turn invisible and create powerful force fields, becoming the Invisible Woman. Together, they formed the Fantastic Four, using their powers to protect the world from danger. Reed Richards is known around the world for his brilliant mind, while his wife, Susan Storm, has made a name for herself as a skilled diplomat. One of her biggest accomplishments is forming a historic peace deal with Harvey, the mysterious leader of a hidden underground civilization. Together, Reed and Sue are not only heroes, but symbols of hope and unity. The Fantastic Four as a team are celebrated across the globe for their bravery and commitment to protecting humanity. One Sunday, Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm are waiting at the dinner table, a weekly tradition for the team. It's unusual when Reed and Sue don't show up on time. When the couple finally walks in, Ben immediately notices something different. There's a glow on their faces that gives it away. Sue is pregnant. Ben figures it out before they can say a word, and the team bursts into cheers. The news quickly becomes public, spreading across news outlets and social media. People everywhere are excited, wondering if the baby will have powers too. Back at the Baxter building, the team begins preparing for the baby's arrival. Safety measures are added throughout their headquarters, making it ready for their newest family member. Meanwhile, Reed becomes deeply focused on the question that's been nagging at him. Will the baby be born with powers like theirs? He begins running tests and researching every possibility. At the same time, the team starts picking up strange signals coming from deep space. The messages are in an unknown language, and no one can figure out where they're coming from. Reed is also working on a new invention, teleportation technology. So far, he's managed to teleport an egg successfully, but the process uses a huge amount of energy, and Reed knows there's still a long way to go before it's ready for real-world use. Johnny, always curious and reckless, picks up one of the strange alien transmissions. The language is bizarre, but something about it grabs his attention. Meanwhile, Sue finds their robot assistant, Herbie, quietly building a baby crib. She teases Reed, saying he should have made it himself. Reed explains that he designed the crib with built-in sensors to keep track of the baby's health. He wants to know early on whether their child might have special powers. Sue, feeling frustrated by all the testing, tells Reed it's time to stop treating their baby like a science experiment. To calm his worries, she turns invisible for a moment, showing a peaceful glimpse of the baby growing inside her. The sight reassures Reed and brings the couple even closer together. Still, Reed can't help but act on his protective instincts. He secretly arranges for the arrest of small-time criminals around the city, joking that he's trying to baby-proof the world for their child. Suddenly, something strange happens. A mysterious being arrives on Earth. Johnny rushes to investigate and comes face-to-face with a powerful and graceful figure, an alien woman riding a silver board. She introduces herself in an unfamiliar language and calls herself the Silver Surfer. She finds the Fantastic Four in Times Square and speaks in a calm but serious tone, asking if they are Earth's defenders. Sue steps up and proudly says yes. The Silver Surfer gives them a terrifying message. Earth is in danger. A cosmic force called Galactus is coming, and when he arrives, the planet will be consumed. She urges them to enjoy the time they have left. Johnny, acting on impulse, tries to follow her. He grabs her board, but before he can ask anything, she speaks in her native tongue and disappears into the sky. Johnny is left both amazed and disturbed by the encounter. Back at the Baxter building, Reed begins researching the Silver Surfer. He discovers a chilling pattern. Every planet she visits is destroyed soon after. He realizes they can't wait for Galactus to arrive. They have to take action now. Johnny notices something important. One of the deep space signals they've been receiving matches the language the Silver Surfer spoke. Reed sees this as a major lead. He reveals new high-tech suits made for space travel, including a special upgrade that allows Johnny to ignite as the Human Torch even in space. With urgency and resolve, the Fantastic Four launch into space. Using Reed's advanced tracking tools, they follow the heat trail left by the Silver Surfer, racing to uncover the truth and stop the threat before it's too late. The Fantastic Four arrive at a distant planet just in time to witness its final moments. The entire world crumbles apart in a terrifying display of destruction. Sue quickly cloaks their ship with her invisibility powers, hoping to keep them hidden. But Galactus, an enormous cosmic being, senses them anyway. The Silver Surfer appears aboard their ship, warning them that coming here was a mistake. Galactus is aware of their presence and wants to speak with them. Johnny, still thinking about their last meeting in Times Square, asks what she had whispered to him. She calmly explains that it was a blessing, a wish for him to spend his last moments surrounded by those he loves. Guided by the Silver Surfer, the team agrees to meet Galactus. Towering above them, his presence is overwhelming. His voice echoes with ancient might as he asks if they've come all this way to beg for Earth's survival. Reed, brave and determined, says they've come to negotiate. Galactus surprises them with a cruel offer. He will spare Earth, but only if they give him Reed and Sue's unborn child. He claims the baby holds incredible potential, enough to replace him and free him from his eternal hunger. Reed refuses, insisting their child is normal, but Galactus doesn't believe him. Using his powers, he triggers Sue into early labor. In a flash of anger, Johnny launches a fiery attack at Galactus, creating a distraction so the team can escape. Sue uses her force fields to knock back the Silver Surfer, who chases after them without pause. Sue, desperate and afraid for her unborn baby, begs Johnny to stop the Surfer. She fears the Silver Surfer may try to harm or take the child. Johnny attacks with blasts of flame, but the Surfer's speed and agility let her dodge every strike. Reed, thinking fast, enters the coordinates of a nearby black hole into the ship's navigation system. His plan is risky: use the black hole's gravity to trap the Silver Surfer. As they approach the edge, their ship is heavily damaged, nearly torn apart. Half of it is destroyed by the gravitational forces. At the last moment, the black hole pulls in the Silver Surfer, trapping her within its grasp. The team narrowly escapes. Amid the chaos and drifting wreckage, a new life begins. Sue gives birth to a baby boy, Franklin. In the middle of space, far from Earth and surrounded by danger, the Fantastic Four experience a moment of pure joy. The Fantastic Four return to Earth, welcomed by a wave of celebration. The world rejoices at the birth of Franklin, Sue, and Reed's son. Cameras flash and reporters crowd around the Baxter building, desperate to hear how the team defeated the mighty Galactus. Reed speaks honestly. He tells them they didn't defeat Galactus. The cosmic giant made a terrifying demand: surrender their unborn child in exchange for Earth's safety. The team refused. Reed warns that Galactus is still out there and his interest in Franklin hasn't faded. He believes the child has unimaginable potential, something Galactus wants to use. Reed, weighed down by the scale of the threat, admits that he currently has no solution. But there is a glimmer of hope. Johnny, who has been reviewing his encounter with the Silver Surfer, plays back a recording of their conversation. He reveals that he's been decoding her language, and while he's only cracked part of it, there's more to uncover. This might be their key to understanding what's coming. As the truth spreads, fear takes over. Crowds begin to gather outside the Baxter building, and the public mood quickly shifts. Some people, terrified of Galactus returning, demand that the team hand over Franklin to protect the Earth. Reed, burdened by guilt, quietly acknowledges that the crowd's fear is understandable. He has no solution. He doesn't know how to stop Galactus, but Sue refuses to accept defeat. Holding her newborn son, she steps forward to face the crowd. Sue tells them Franklin is her child, not a weapon or a symbol. She recalls a promise once made to her by her own mother, to protect her no matter what. Now Sue makes that same vow for Franklin. With firm resolve, she declares that she will never choose between her son and the world. They will stand together as a family. Inspired by Sue's determination, Reed begins to think in new ways. He proposes a radical plan: to teleport the entire Earth to a distant part of the universe, far beyond Galactus's reach. The idea stems from a past experiment where he teleported a single object, now scaled to a planetary level. To power the attempt, massive energy towers are built across the globe. Cities shut down, lights fade, industries pause. The world unites in silence, conserving every possible resource for one final chance at survival. In a private moment, Reed speaks to Franklin. He admits he doesn't know what Franklin will grow up to be or what abilities he might have, but he promises to stand by him always. Meanwhile, Johnny works tirelessly and finally deciphers a key part of the alien language. He discovers the Silver Surfer's true name, Shalabal. It may be the key to understanding her and Galactus. The day comes to initiate Earth's relocation. The towers power up. The countdown begins, but Shalabal, the Silver Surfer, arrives and destroys the towers, halting the mission. Johnny confronts her midair and transmits messages in her native language. Through this, he learns Shalabal once belonged to a world of scientists. To save them from Galactus, she pledged herself to him. While her people thanked her, many other worlds suffered. Stricken with guilt, Shalabal retreats into the sky. Johnny follows, offering himself in place of Franklin. She refuses and urges him to protect the child instead. With their first plan ruined, Reed proposes a new strategy: lure Galactus to Times Square and trap him in a sealed dimension. It requires keeping him in the energy field for 37 seconds. Sue is horrified to learn Franklin will be used as bait. She objects, but the mission moves forward. Harvey, known as the Mole Man, assists by moving Earth's population to safety underground. As Galactus nears, Reed and Sue place Franklin in Times Square. Galactus arrives, sensing the child's presence. Johnny strikes at his eyes and retrieves Franklin, bringing him back to the Baxter building. Reed activates the teleportation device, but Galactus Galactus avoids it and heads toward Franklin's new location. The team attacks but fails to stop him. Galactus hurls Ben far away, wrecks Sue's vehicle, and captures Reed, stretching him beyond his limits. Reed screams as Johnny and Ben pull him back to safety. Galactus reaches Franklin. Sue unleashes her full power to hold him back. Exhausted and on the brink, she collapses. Reed begs her to stop, but she keeps fighting to protect her son. Ben topples a nearby building, weakening Galactus. Johnny restarts the teleportation system. Reed secures Franklin. Sue lies unconscious. Galactus resists the portal. Johnny is ready to sacrifice himself to finish the job. At the last moment, Shalabal returns. She pushes Galactus into the portal and vanishes with him. The team rushes to Sue's side, fearing the worst. Reed tries to revive her but fails. Ben, overcome with emotion, gently stops him. Franklin is laid beside her. As he begins to cry, a burst of light surrounds them. His latent powers awaken. Sue stirs, then breathes. She opens her eyes. Franklin laughs. The team, battered but alive, embraces as the crisis ends. 4 years later, Sue reads a bedtime story to Franklin in the Baxter building. A tall shadow looms in the doorway. She looks up. Dr. Doom stands silently, signaling the rise of a new threat, bringing the movie recap to an end.